Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we'll be taking a look at a powerful non-XL off-meta pick in the Ultra League Remix Cup, and that is Crobat. Crobat is a poison and flying type Pokemon, and for the moveset it's running Air Slash, Poison Fang, and Shadow Ball. Now this trainer teamed up Crobat with Kingdra and Machamp and climbed from the 2200s to the 2800s in only 3 days, a very impressive accomplishment with no XLs. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and let's take a look at the team and Crobat in particular in action. Hopping into the first match, picking up a pretty neutral lead, we have Crobat into Dragonite. And Crobat is just going to be going straight Poison Fang here. The Dragonite's really unlikely to shield the first, but why Poison Fang of course is great is that defense drop. And now that means that these future Air Slashes and future Poison Fangs are going to be doing a lot more. Was able to get through an Air Slash as the opponent threw, so definitely going to be able to outpace and either force a shield or win switch. Able to win switch, the opponent instead opts for the farm down with Magnezone, and a Magnezone with loaded energy is incredibly deadly. Now this will be a difficult bait game. Calls the bait, and it's the mirror shot. What a call! And now going to be able to force a shield with this cross chop. No way the Magnezone elects to go down with that much energy. And my guess is this will probably be the wild charge. Shields it up. It is. They switch out and they have an Escavalier in the back. So things are looking great for Machamp. As the opponent is running a Dragonite double steel line. And as you notice that this trainer is actually running a very interesting moveset on the Machamp. They're running Payback instead of Rock Slide, just in case they get paired up against any ghost types. And that was a very nice catch onto the Kingdra. And from here, bit of a tough decision to make. Elects to shield up the Drill Run. Maybe going to try and commit to the farm down. Able to commit to the farm down. Now this is tough, as this Magnezone still has a decent amount of health left, and an Octazooka will not KO. But they get the debuff. It's a fast move race that Kingdra is able to win. Oh my goodness, very close end of the game there. Hopping into game number 2. Incredible lead. Crobat absolutely walls Escavalier. And the opponent is going to safe swap into a Waterfall Gyarados, also known as Kingdra food. Kingdra absolutely destroys Waterfall Gyarados. Waterfall is a pretty high damage move, but it's double resisted on Kingdra, so as you can see, it does basically no damage. Kingdra can just farm all the way down here and leave with a nice amount of energy to throw at that Escavalier. My guess is we'll definitely be seeing that come back in. It is the Escavalier, going for the Octazooka. Doesn't do a whole ton of damage, but able to get the debuff, which is so nice. And now with the debuff, this Drill Run is actually not going to KO. Come on, can they get there? The opponent switches out into an Umbreon. Going to bank a bunch of energy and bring in the Shadow Machamp. Oh, sorry, the regular Machamp. My apologies. I am so used to saying Shadow Machamp. And no shielding the first move just to see what they have, and the Umbreon is running Last Resort instead of Psychic, so Machamp can safely tank 2 Last Resorts and not even have to worry about shielding yet. Oh man, this is just an absolute Machamp party. Again, very nice over farming right before the Umbreon's about to throw again, and should be able to force a shield here, which they are. And from here, yeah, you can definitely just let this go. Not too worried about that. And from here, and they actually try and snipe with Escavalier, able to get the shield. And from here, as I was mentioning, Crobat is going to be able to clean up nicely and get that 2 shield flex. Mega Horn, it just does nothing. And then Crobat able to connect with the Shadow Ball on the Umbreon, and that is going to be a good game. So that's one really nice thing about Crobat. It absolutely destroys Escavalier. Hopping in the next one. All right, we have Crobat into Gyarados. This one running Dragon Breath. Again, going straight for the Poison Fang. Going to try and buff up that Air Slash damage. Aqua Tail does do a solid chunk of damage. Gyarados does hit fairly hard, as it is fairly glassy as well. And now opting not to switch out here. There we go. There's the switch. Able to catch what's hopefully the Aqua Tail, which it is, onto the Kingdra. Very nicely done, and able to bait out the Charmer. As you can see, this is an ABB style team, so you have your Charm counter in the lead in Crobat and 2 things in the back that are weak to Charm. So very nice play there. Able to successfully bait out the Charmer, and now definitely going to wait the switch clock, come back in with Crobat, use Crobat to take out the Charmer, and hope that Machamp can sweep in the back. Definitely have to shield this up. You don't want to take those charms on Machamp, but should be able to shield once and hopefully just Air Slash all the way down here. Yes! Very nicely done. Banks the move, comes in with the Machamp. Oh, and then throws the Cross Chop. But unfortunately, it looked like the opponent switched into an Armored Mewtwo. Oh, this is so bad. But here's where payback is nice. Come on, gets to the payback. Does the opponent go for the 2-shield flex here? They do! Oh, that does huge damage. And now it should be in a range where 1 Air Slash KOs. 1 Air Slash takes it out, the confusion does not register, and now goes straight for the Poison Fang, but loses CMP to Gyarados. Now the Poison Fang will land. Now the question is, can they Air Slash down before the Dragon Breath takes them out? Poison Fang connects, Air Slash, and Crobat with the insane clutch, and that is going to be a good game. Oh my goodness. Alright, hopping into the next match, and we have XL Mandibuzz. Definitely not what you want to see. Going for the Poison Fang, and the main reason you really don't want to see it is that thing is beefy. XL Mandibuzz, it's real hard to kill. And if you're the Crobat, you're just able to get the Air Slash through, which is very nice, but going to begin to start committing shields in this matchup here. Farming up a bunch and threatening the Shadow Ball. Let's see if we are able to get the shield. Not able to get the shield, unfortunately, but gonna bank the energy and bring in Machamp. So has to check for a potential Charmer in the back. Going to get hit with the Aerial Ace, and it's a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales. So no Charmer, but there is a Fairy type, so very good to bait this out so Kingdra does not have to see it. And very nice timing there, able to force the CMP tie. Weather Ball will not be taking the Machamp out. Can they get there? Yes! Able to get to the Cross Chop. This is only neutral, but it does a solid chunk of damage to the Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales able to farm down. And now going to be bringing back in the Crobat, going straight for the Poison Fang. The Poison Fang connects. Unfortunately, not quite enough to take them out, so we'll have to shield up the Weather Ball, but able to farm down. Back in comes the Mandibuzz, and banks a move, switches into the Kingdra. I like that, so they have a Poison Fang banked for later in the game. Kingdra has to eat a Dark Pulse, and they have a Scrafty in the back, so it's a triple XL sweaty team. Let's see, can the non-XLs pull it out? Going for the Octazooka, gets the debuff. Oh, that is very, very nice. Able to get the debuff there. This is still going to be tough. Going for the Foul Play. Foul Play, not enough to KO. Oh, not able to get there. In comes the Crobat. Crobat going for the Poison Fang here. We do get the shield from the Scrafty. Now, Scrafty is still debuffed here. Foul Play, not enough to take out Crobat. Crobat tries to farm down. Mandibuzz comes in. Crobat able to farm down the Mandibuzz and gets to the Poison Fang. And Crobat with another insane clutch, taking out the triple XL trash. You love to see it. All right, hopping into the next match, we have Crobat into Pidgeot. And now, this is a bit of a tough matchup here. Overfarming, I'm not quite sure why you would overfarm there, because they're definitely not going to be afraid of any kind of a Shadow Ball, but now able to go for the back-to-back, and this will begin to lower the defense. They do shield up the second one, which is very nice, and going to call the Feather Dance bait. Oh, successfully calls the Feather Dance, and now going to bring in Kingdra. Kingdra, unfortunately, will get debuffed here, which is less than ideal. But now that Pidgeot is very low, they actually elect to stay in and let it go down. And let's see what they have. And they bring in an Escavalier. So the nice thing is they don't have a Charmer in the back. That is definitely helpful. Octazooka coming through. And unfortunately, this should just about be Drill Run range. So especially since the Kingdra is debuffed, may as well just let it go. And definitely going to want to wait out the clock here. Has two pretty good responses to Escavalier. Brings in Crobat, and it's the Gengar. Oh, very nice counting by the Gengar. Throwing just as they got to the Shadow Ball. Shields up the Shadow Punch, and now going for the Shadow Ball. Let's see, does the Gengar respect the Shadow Ball? And they do not! Oh my goodness! And now Machamp is going to absolutely destroy this Escavalier. And that is going to be a good game and clinches the 5-0. All right, hopping into the next match. This is a bit of a rough lead in Jellicent, as unfortunately Jellicent does outpace the Crobat here. opting to let the first move through. They do have Ice Beam that connects, and that unfortunately does big damage. Going for the Poison Fang bait, and they call it. Oh, that is so bad. Oh my goodness, things are not looking good. Has to shield up another Ice Beam, and now going to be going for the Shadow Ball here, but my guess is we'll probably see a shield, and now going to have to save swap into the Kingdra. On the bright side, we know they don't have Bubble Beam, so they'll connect with the Shadow Ball here, and they have a Kingdra of their own. Come on, able to get to the Outrage though. What's the opponent counting? Do they know this is the Outrage? They do not. They let it go. Oh my goodness. But the issue is, unfortunately, they have Armored Mewtwo in the back. And yeah, unfortunately, sees the writing on the wall there. Not a lot they could do outside of another hope of landing a payback. And that is a good battle. Hopping in the next match, amazing lead. Crobat into Shadow Machamp, and they're going to save swap into Snorlax. Banks the Poison Fang before bringing in the Machamp. Now, Machamp will do quite well against the Snorlax here, and so long as the Snorlax isn't running a nuke move, like Earthquake, can tank any one move. Body Slam, that's fine, and able to counter down. And the nice thing is, does have a bit of an energy lead, so if they bring in their own Machamp to farm down, which they do, we'll be able to reach a cross chop, and this will do a non-insignificant amount of damage. And if they elect to shield, which they do, then able to get a shield advantage for the Crobat matchup, which is very, very nice. Waiting out the clock, and here's where the banked Poison Fang is very nice. Able to apply a decent amount of pressure. They switch out. They have a Galarian Stunfisk XL in the back, and now going to bring out the Kingdra. Question is, do they bait? They do. That makes quite a bit of sense there, as he still had 2 shields left, so from the opponent's perspective, high likelihood that he's going to shield. Unfortunately, does not get the debuff. Now the question is, opting to let this go? My guess is this will be the Earthquake, which it is, and that's definitely going to hurt the Kingdra, as now it's in Rock Slide range, but able to get to the Octazooka first. Now, I think it's highly likely we will see the shield here. Oh, but the attack falls at the perfect time. Oh my goodness. Rock Slide, not quite enough to take out. Brings in the Crobat. Unfortunately, this Machamp is at enough for a Rock Slide. The Machamp baits, not able to get to a second move. Crobat able to get to the Shadow Ball. Now, does this take out the Galarian Stunfisk? The Shadow Ball and one Air Slash does the trick. So Crobat out here countering Galarian Stunfisk. Let's go. Hopping into the next match and picking up a Samurott lead. So some spice, which is cool. Going to save swap into the Kingdra and baits out a Drapion. Now, Drapion isn't the best matchup ever for Kingdra, but the nice thing here is this means that there's a high likelihood that there's probably not a Charmer waiting for Machamp in back, so that should hopefully give Machamp some play. Baits with the Octazooka, does get the shield, unfortunately does not get the attack drop. That is unfortunate, and opting to let this go, so going to trust in Machamp with shield advantage to close endgame. Now, do they come in with the Crobat? No, they're actually going to send in the Machamp. Now, this is tough. Shielding it up, and they go for the crunch, and they get the defense drop. Oh, that is unfortunate. Going to let this next one through. And this Drapion going for another crunch. They switch in the Samurott. They try and snipe, but able to catch back onto the Crobat. Now, my guess is, opting to go for the Poison Fang there instead of building up to the Shadow Ball, trying to get that damage off as well as get that debuff off, and just cannot get to the other Poison Fang. That's unfortunate. Hydro Cannon, not enough to take the bat out, and going to undercharge the Poison Fang, and my guess is probably try and Air Slash down, and able to Air Slash down. Very nicely done, unfortunately on very little health, and they have a Kofagrigus in the back, but do they know about payback? Machamp going for the payback, and it lands. Oh, it does big damage to the Kofagrigus. Oh, that is very, very awesome. Let's go. Shielding up the Psychic, and Machamp just farming up, and almost at 2 cross chops here. And the Kofagrigus is low enough where it would be enough to take them out. Able to get to the second one. Goodbye, Kofagrigus. That is huge. connects. And from here, come on, get there. Yes, able to get to the cross chop. That's going to take out the Drapion. And Machamp closing strong and able to get the win. All right, hopping into the next match. All right, we have Crobat into Granbull. So things are looking good. And they're going to save swap into Escavalier. So the opponent is double weak to Crobat, which is very nice. And now going to land that Poison Fang debuff before switching into Machamp. I definitely like this play because you definitely want to preserve the Crobat whenever possible. Oh, tried to farm down and unfortunately going to have to commit a shield. So it was probably the better play there to throw the cross chop and try and save the even shield, because now the opponent does have shield advantage and cross chop doesn't really hurt Granbull all that much. So you can see just doesn't do a lot, and unfortunately now is down in terms of shields, which is a rough position to be in. Crobat, and they have Gliscor in the back. Now the real question here is, can you get the debuff? If they're able to get the debuff, then this could flip, and they're able to get the debuff. That is so nice. Now, they might have a win con. Earthquake connects, is not going to be doing enough damage just because of that debuff, and now the Gliscor is going to be going for Night Slashes, but again, because of that debuff, not in Night Slash range, and able to get off a second Octazooka here. Octazooka does get the shield. The attack falls again. They're trying to farm down. They switch into the Granbull, and in comes the Crobat. Crobat going to be going for the Poison Fang, trying to do as much damage to this Granbull as possible. Needs to try and take it out before it gets to a move, and they're able to do so. In comes the Gliscor. Gliscor can only go for Night Slash here. They're not going to be going for Earthquake. Can survive a Night Slash, and able to get to the Poison Fang, and from here, you can pretty safely shield this up, go for the Poison Fang, and that is going to be a good game. Oh my goodness. That got a little frantic there, and a bit of a misplay in the mid game, but able to successfully rally, which is the mark of a good battler. All right, and an amazing lead. We have Crobat into Scrafty. They save swap into a Shadow Snorlax, and Machamp is here to shut it all down. Cross Chop connects. That does big damage. And so long as this isn't the Earthquake, can safely tank it. Machamp able to farm all the way down, and they're actually bringing the Scrafty into a fight, or recognizing that Scrafty probably doesn't have a lot of play, so basically just using it as a damage sponge for this Machamp. And Machamp is able to get to another cross chop. Oh my goodness. The bulk of non-Shadow Machamp coming in clutch. Able to force a shield from Scrafty. And now able to bring in the Crobat. And Crobat can easily tank a foul play here. Not too worried about that. And they're going to switch. They have a Lapras in the back. So things could get tough here. But going to lower the defense with a Poison Fang before they switch. And now in comes the Kingdra. Now the question is, are they running Skull Bash or Ice Beam on the Lapras? And they are running Skull Bash, lets it through. That's not ideal, but the nice thing is that Dragon Breath, since the defense is lowered, is doing a nice amount of damage. Goes for the Octazooka bait, successfully gets the shield, and able to get to the second one. Oh my goodness, I thought they weren't going to be able to get there. That Octazooka takes out the Lapras. All that's left is Scrafty, and Crobat has 2 shields, and Crobat 2 shield flexing on Scrafty, and that is going to be a good game. So all in all, this team looks like a ton of fun to run. Crobat seems like a really powerful off-meta pick that's accessible to a lot of players. Like, this Crobat is only level 40 and is still putting in tons of work. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.